Orkar inte. From the outset, Phasmophobia has just about everything working against it. It's an early access game made in the Unity engine, which alone should be enough to warrant a death sentence. It's also a game that's marketed as being a multiplayer horror game. Two words that honestly shouldn't go together one bit. Horror is, after all, derived from being alone, vulnerable, and always at the end of your rope, with little to no comfort guiding you along whatever scares the game offers. So how on earth can a game scare you when you're aided by fellow ghost hunters who are rarely far off from where you are, and who you can always communicate with, providing you with a safety net that alleviates tension? Well, what if I told you that Phasmophobia is one of the best horror games I've played in a hot minute? A game that keeps me on the edge of my seat time and time again, and still manages to elicit scares after hours of playing through the same maps over and over again. Ah! Fuck! So how does it pull it off? How does Phasmophobia achieve true horror in spite of its multiplayer component that's so integral to the overall experience? Well, for one thing, Phasmophobia is the only game that I can think of that 100% nails the ghost hunting vibe, as you and a crew of fellow companions investigate haunted locations, in pursuit of completing optional objectives, as well as piecing together enough clues to figure out what type of paranormal entity you're dealing with. All the while, the game mandates you to use your in-game microphone, as you can actually communicate with the ghost by way of the spirit box and the occasional Ouija board that shows up. At the same time, you have to manage your sanity, items, lock yourself in when a hunt is initiated, and constantly communicate with your teammates to relay vital information. And all the while, you're reading up on the different ghosts, placing down cameras to monitor from the safety of an RV, putting in clues in the journal, and most importantly, get the fuck out of harm's way when a ghost decides it's time for a full-on bloodbath. Complete with in-game proximity chat and walkie-talkies being used as core gameplay mechanics. That's understandable. Couple that with randomly generated optional objectives, non-scripted jump scares, chilling audio effects that sneak up on you when you least expect it, and hugely infrequent ghost sightings, and you have the recipe for what might be the best co-op experience I've had in years. As a matter of fact, Phasmophobia might actually be my favorite early access title of all time. A game that might not be visually impressive but more than compensates for it by way of incredible sound design. Okej, jag hörde fotsteg bakom mig som inte var dina. Oh shit! Jag tror jag såg den. Precis. Ja, det gick i saltet, det var därför. Okej. And an outstanding sense of atmosphere and general creepiness. And I swear to God, seeing doors open by themselves or lights flickering at random never ceases to creep the living shit out of me. And walking in on a room and realizing that something has been fiddling with the environment is gleefully exciting. Has any of you guys opened up a drawer for no reason here in the entrance? Okay, so the ghost opened up a drawer here right at the entrance. You know that something is there, but you don't know what. And it's the fear of the unknown that Phasmophobia makes use of so brilliantly. Even better, Phasmophobia realizes the notion that less is more. You rarely ever see the ghost you're dealing with, leaving it mostly up to your own imagination as to what the hell you're actually chasing after. And while the ghosts themselves don't look all that impressive and feature basic animation, seeing brief glimpses of them when you least expect it is enough to make your skin crawl. And the lack of any heads-up display elements or obnoxious player indicators makes the act of losing track of your teammates when you're all alone a terrifying proposition. And if you're unlucky, you might even wind up scaring one another on accident. Jävlar, shit. As it currently stands, Phasmophobia doesn't feature a whole lot of maps or ghost types, but a variety of factors contribute to make each hunt feel unique and fresh. You never know when a hunt will start, or whether or not a ghost will give enough signs to signify its location. It's scary, unpredictable, and imminently engaging, and cooperation is absolutely key to a successful hunt. Going in solo is possible but not exactly viable, as you can only carry a set amount of items at a time, and concocting a plan as to who should grab what and what to do with said items is equally important to be efficient. You might want to scan for activity with the EMF reader or gauge the temperature, place down cameras or even a journal for the ghost to write in. And seeing the live camera feeds from the RV with full-on night vision is tense and exciting. Should a teammate die and you're using voice chat, you can't communicate with that player, and being left alone and seeing the scattered bodies of your friends with no one to comfort you is terrifying in its own right. In other words, the multiplayer aspect actually heightens the tension and the scares, and with nothing to do but hide if a ghost starts hunting, expect plenty of panic-inducing moments as you race to the nearest hiding spot.
Shit. Ja, jävlar, den springer bakom mig. Helvete. Ja, den är bakom mig. Jag kommer dö. Japp, jag hör den. Åh, gud.
This is ghost hunting, perfectly encapsulated, and the addition of VR support and mandatory microphone usage to communicate with the ghost is a stroke of genius that I don't think the developers get enough credit for. And there are even players who have reported to witness and hear things in the game that apparently aren't commonplace. And with new updates being added in the beta version, there's a ton of incentive to keep playing. My only real gripe with this game is that progression is rather half-baked. Leveling up is essentially meaningless, and gaining money from hunts is only important for the sake of replacing equipment you might have lost in the event that you were killed. Adding some sort of a permadeath mode where dying means not being able to play for a while would have gone a long way towards making this game even scarier. Either that or just other ways of penalizing players who don't make it out alive, making the act of communicating and cooperating even more important. Even so, Phasmophobia is already a treasure trove of tension, occasional humor, scares, and atmosphere, and a game that really captures the feeling of being a part of a 4-man ghost hunting squad. The randomized aspects make for a ton of replay value, and I definitely hope to see a bigger selection of maps, difficulties, ghosts, and events being added in the future.
What the fuck? It just activated the microwave. The microwave actually made a beeping sound. I've never heard that before.
Phasmophobia is already fantastic enough as it is, and the possibility of it becoming even better has me extremely excited for the potential that this game has. And if multiplayer horror games become a new trend in the near future, then be sure to remember the game that started it all, because I sure as hell will. Phasmophobia is tense and exciting, all while being one of the best co-op games to come along in quite some time. If you have a group of friends who are easily scared, then this is an absolute must-play. Thank you for watching.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.